we need to talk about the USPS. Now, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 7 of the Constitution states that Congress shall have the power to establish post offices and post roads. That's it. That's all the Constitution has to say about the United States Postal Service. Which in 230-something years has given the Postal Service a lot of flexibility in regards to what it provides and how it provides it. You know, there's a lot of things we take for granted about the Postal Service. Things like that one postage stamp will get the same letter to Hawaii as it would to, say, Brooklyn, or that letters are delivered to your home. You don't have to go to the post office to pick them up. Or the fact that the post office delivers not only letters, but also parcels. These were not services originally provided by the Postal Service when it was founded. You know, I was really looking forward to this being a fun romp through Postal Service history, that I would be able to talk about its highs and its lows and its weird facts and some cool stories, and then everything happened. Yeah, I was really looking forward to that. So I'm going to scream into the void during this video about the current situation, and then hopefully in part 2, we'll go back to all the fun, cool Postal Service history stuff that doesn't make me want to die. Yes, this is going to be a 2-parter. Scout's Honor. The second part will happen because I really need to tell you a thing about Wanamaker. Now, as of the recording of this episode, things with the USPS still aren't great, and you're probably wondering, how did we even get here? How did things get so bad? Is there nothing that can be done? Well, it all started in 2006. When the Republican-controlled Congress passed the Postal Accountability and Enhancement Act. This pigeonholed the Postal Service, strictly defining postal services as letters and packages only. You see, the USPS had been trying to look into ways they could modernize, maybe go back into providing banking services, maybe, having emails and things like that also as a part of their services. But they spent money on trying to research and develop that, and Congress does not like it when the USPS tries to better itself by spending money that the USPS makes for itself, since they don't actually get any tax dollars to run this vital service to all Americans. Now, the people who had been chomping at the bit to privatize the USPS were disappointed that the act didn't go further, but people who wanted to protect the USPS were alarmed. This act hamstringed any efforts to modernize the Postal Service, and according to how the Post Office created America, thus consigned it to a slow death by 1,000 cuts. Yikes. Now, one of those 1,000 cuts was that $5.5 billion annually had to be prepaid into a retiree healthcare benefits plan for employees. At first, the Postal Service leadership didn't think this was going to be that big of a problem. I mean, the Postal Service had been turning a profit since the 90s. What was another $5.5 billion between friends, am I right? And then December 2007 happened. It was pretty bad. You know, how dare 2020 dethrone 2007 as the worst year of my life? Oh no, the start of the Great Recession wasn't bad enough. 2020 looked at 2007 and was like, hold my beer. Anyway, it was a bad scene for everyone, and that additional $5.5 billion cost definitely wasn't helping. The Postal Service began defaulting on payments in 2012, claiming they would not have been able to pay their employees, their suppliers, or deliver the mail if it didn't default. So we were already at nearly 14 years of the USPS in crisis mode of trying to fix the USPS by kneecapping it at every possible opportunity, and then COVID happened. Is happening. Oh my God, will it never not be happening? The amount of paper mail plummeted, which just so happens to be the Postal Service's most profitable revenue stream, while package volume soared. That's a bit of a problem if your distribution is more equipped to handle paper mail instead of packages. That could be a little chaotic when you switch the ratios. So yes, the USPS is anticipating a truly horrific deficit because of this literally unprecedented event that is happening to us right now. And then in June, Louis DeJoy became Postmaster General and just about took a sledgehammer to everything on top of that. Now, we were supposed to have done away with the spoils system in this country. For those of you playing the home game, the spoils system is the practice wherein a successful political party gives public office to its supporters. Andrew Jackson pretty much made it the rule of the land, Lincoln used it to great effect, and Garfield was killed because of it. Awkward. Anyway, we're not supposed to be handing out jobs to our biggest supporters anymore. I mean, that's why the Postmaster General is appointed by the USPS Board of Governors. You see, that's why there's 9 members of the board, and no more than 5 of them are supposed to be from the same political party. It's supposed to help keep the political out of the process. So only 2 of the current board members aren't Republican, and they were all appointed by Trump and approved by the Republican-controlled Senate, and DeJoy is a Republican mega-donor, among other massive concerns. Anyway, so you'd think that due to the massive historical need for mail-in voting due to the pandemic, the new Postmaster General would be a little less willing to look like an absolute mustache-twirling villain right now. But with the USPS in disarray and mail carriers confused about how to proceed because of his crackdown on overtime leading to massive delivery slowdowns and package backlogs, well, let's just say if there was a plot to disrupt the efficiency of mail-in voting and to call the entire process into question in a very contentious election year, they're doing a great job. And even though DeJoy has claimed he's stopped these disruptive changes and he won't start them up again until after the election, he's also not going back to restore, say, the mail sorting machines that were ripped out. Pro tip, it makes you look incompetent at best and, actively trying to disrupt American democracy at worst. So, it's up to you how you want to go down in history on this one. Completely up to you. Just saying. Oh, and the U.S. election? Well, it's pretty much 2 months away. What's happening now isn't the first crisis the United States Postal Service has faced, but the situation is dire. This isn't just about the USPS anymore. This is about, protecting the democratic process and stuff. So, are you an American? Great! Here's some things you can do. And if you're not an American, maybe send this down the line to some of your American friends so they get the memo that this is important and they should do something about it. In regards to supporting the USPS, there's a pretty great article from Mashable that lays out the steps you can take, link below, which includes who you can contact and what you can do to draw attention to this issue. Put some feet to the fire on this one. Make sure that they understand that they can try to do this, but we see it and we don't like it. Now, in regards to the election on November 3rd, no matter what, it's going to be a shit show. So here's the steps you can take now before it's too late. Are you registered to vote? If you're not sure, or if you're not, now's a great time to double check that. If you don't have a permanent address, this might be difficult to do, but it shouldn't be impossible for you to do. The only address you're not allowed to use is a P.O. box. Funny enough. Now, you might be concerned about going to an actual polling place the day of because of COVID. This is fair and reasonable. Now, absentee ballot rules, just like voter registration rules, vary state to state. Rock the Vote, it's an oldie but a goodie. It explained what steps you need to take to make sure you can vote and that your vote will count. Do not wait until the last minute to look up these steps. In fact, you know what? Do it right now. Just pause the video. Just pause the video right now and look up what your state's rules are in regards to registering to vote and accessing an absentee ballot. Just do it right now. Just I'll be here. Don't worry. I'll wait. I will wait for you. Go. Great, welcome back. So glad you took the moment to check how to register to vote in your state and how to access an absentee ballot. I'm so proud of you. We're going to pretend like you did that. Don't disappoint me. Now, here's a very important note. If you can use a mail-in ballot, double check what your deadline is and do not miss it. For example, in New York State, I'm going to have to make sure that my ballot is postmarked 7 days before the election if I'm mailing it. Or I could physically drop it off at either my County Board of Elections office, an early voting poll site, or my regular poll site, but I just have to do that by November 3rd. So I have some options if I don't put it in the mail. And a giant caveat. Please be aware that the post office has advised that they cannot guarantee timely delivery of ballots applied for less than 15 days before an election. So we're getting close, so don't blow it, don't wait on it. If you're gonna want to do a mail-in ballot, you gotta get it now, okay? Please do this for me. Please don't wait until the last minute. So, if you join me in doing these little things, maybe we'll all wake up on November 4th and not want to die. I mean, there'll still be massive problems that we as a country have to address and try to fix and course correct on, but it will be just one little less thing to worry about, hopefully, but we gotta try. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, in my next video, I'm gonna circle back around to some other crises that the United States Postal Service has faced and has managed to survive, because it's 2020 and I have to find hope somewhere. Any port in the storm right now. But for now, here's my postcard backlog. Okay, so this is embarrassing. I am embarrassed by the wealth of riches I have received in my request for postcards, and deeply, truly embarrassing, the oldest one in this stack, and this isn't even the full stack, this is just half of the stack. The oldest postcard that I have still yet to read on air is from December. I'm so sorry. It reads, "Dear Nella, warmest regard, 'tis the season," and it was definitely the season when I received this. I am so sorry. I hope it is a very good season to you. I am so excited that you're enjoying Lush. They make some good stuff. I do. This is actually a Lush spa card. It's really cute. I just wanted to say that I love your videos and the Apocalypse Book Club. That Shelley episode hit hard. I laughed constantly. It is a pretty good episode, if I must say so myself. My husband loves your episode on Aaron Burr. He'll ask me to put it on so he can prime himself for a rant about Burr or capitalism or both. Thank you for all you do. We wish you a happy new year. Back when we thought 2020 was going to be a great year. Affectionately, Kelly Lovegood. From December. It's 84 years ago when I got this postcard. Or that's what it feels like, because that's how long 2020 has felt. Next, we have a postcard of the end of an era, 1970-2001, the Three Rivers Stadium. This postcard reads, "In just 19 seconds, Pittsburgh Three Rivers Stadium was destroyed by implosion on February 11, 2001. The demolition crew used more than 4,800 pounds of dynamite to topple this massive structure. Opened on July 16, 1970, the stadium was home field for Pittsburgh's professional baseball and football teams for over 30 years. Hey Nella, here is the postcard that I meant to send you last July. Go me. From Amy. Well, Amy, I received this postcard in January, and I meant to read it on air then. So obviously you and I can just be procrastination buds forever. Yes. Next, this appears to be a postcard from the New York Academy of Medicine. This postcard was received in February of this year, before everything started going to hell. So this one reads, "Big fan of your channel. Since you've done some work on New York City and public health with the Aaron Burr episode, you might want to check out this library." Which, I think I will want to check out this library. It's on 5th Avenue. That's actually probably not that far from where I work. Keep up the fantastic work. Looking forward to the future explanations. Also, no need to read this on air. Oops, just thought this might be of interest to you. Well, read it on air anyway. But yeah, I'll have to check out the New York Academy of Medicine the next time I'm ever in Manhattan, which I actually haven't been back in Manhattan since March. Because, I'm working from home. It's so weird to not be in Manhattan. Anyway, next card. This is another old-timey historical photo of the Fashion Saloon from 1899 from the Jerome Historical Society. It reads, "Saloons lined the streets of the mining camp of Jerome, Arizona. Miners forgot their woes and spent their hard-earned wages on alcohol, gambling, and women. The Fashion Saloon, built in 1899 by Arthur Cordiner and J.S. Hoover, ranked as Jerome's largest and most elegant establishment, featuring 11 games of chance. Today, the old-fashioned saloon houses the Jerome Historical Society Mine Museum." Well, that sounds like a place I want to visit. Here's a card from my home state in Arizona, and this is from Alan Hamilton. "I want to go to this place now. I miss saloons. I miss going out. I miss being places. One day." Next! So this card's from Canada. And does Canada not, postmark its postcards because there's no date on when this was sent? I'm assuming it was probably around the same time, though. Well, first off, it is a depiction of a First People Haida totem pole. It's oriented this way, so as you can see. "Hi, Nella. I hope you're well. I just wanted to write to you to thank you for being so brilliant, joyful, and thorough. Thanks. I get such a thrill when you explain a thing. You're like everyone's favorite history teachers." Aw, I try. "Whether it's Robert Moses, Christmas Island, or anything else, thank you. Take care. Wash your hands. Erin." Everyone should keep washing their hands, actually. It's very important. And wear your masks! This one, also from Canada, does not have a date on it. Again, I'm kind of weirded out that Canada doesn't seem to date postcards. This is a kind of interesting postcard. "Let Decor Wall put the fun back onto your walls. Why pay more when you can have that rich look on wallpaper without the cost? Decor Wall goes on easy. It's fun and economical, too." This card reads, "Hello from Calgary, Alberta, Canada." Oh, Calgary. "I hope you enjoy this postcard. I enjoy all of your work. I have a bunch of bad postcards like this. From Blake Rothwell. Blake, please feel free to send me all the bad postcards. This is so weird. I love it." Next, we have Ortho Garden Digest. Be a happy, carefree gardener. From the Garden Museum. Oh, this is from the UK. Delightful. This person dated the card, so this was sent on April 21st. I appreciate that. It reads, "Hi Nella, I wanted to thank you and Raven. Not only is your podcast one of my favorites, but I'm doing my MA here in the UK in theater and performance studies, and in the current shutdown, it's been difficult to find inspiration for my end-of-term writing until I listened to you speak about Cicely Hamilton. I just read one of her works, and there's so much to unpack." And this card is from, I believe it reads Micah. And I hope I pronounced that correctly. Yeah, no, Cicely Hamilton is something else. I'm glad you're having so much to work with by reading her. Next, we have this kind of it's like a watercolor postcard. Yeah, it's just a watercolor postcard. It's so pretty. Look how pretty this is. I love the colors on it. It reads, "Dear Nella, thank you for your hilarious and specific history videos. They all have brought me much joy. As I write, it is green and rainy outside, somewhat curbing the scope of my 4-year-old to bleed off his energy. Instead of digging in the garden, he is quizzing me on colors. Mostly I'm finding things to enjoy in this time. I hope you and yours are safe and well. Cheers, Jenny Sessions." So thank you, Jenny. I hope you have figured out a way of amusing and entertaining and running your 4-year-old ragged so you can get some rest yourself. I am curious, though, what his favorite color is. I mean, these are very important questions to ask 4-year-olds, I find. But thank you. Next, we have a card from the New York Hall of Science, which last year was the first time I'd ever gone. And it's in walking distance of where I live, and it is a fantastic place. Definitely would recommend going to it when it's, open again. If it ever opens again. "Hi Nella, I thought you might enjoy a postcard from somewhere a little closer to home. Plus, who doesn't need a convenient, probably outdated periodic table?" Actually, is it? I'm gonna have to look into this and make sure I don't think it's out of date. Not that I have the periodic table memorized, but I'm gonna take a look at this later. "Thank you for introducing me to so many interesting topics and books I would never have thought to read. Fun fact, I was driving on the Palisades to visit my boyfriend in Bergen County, New Jersey, when I first heard you and Raven discussing the impracticality of driving cattle to the Bronx, and as a native Long Islander, I completely agree. I don't even like driving myself up the Palisades, and I have a car." Anyway, thank you so much, and I can't wait for the next wonderful thing from you. And that is from Shira. Yes, and she even wrote that it's pronounced Shira, so. And last but not least, it's like a pretty interesting graphic design going on, and it reads, "Greetings from the Midwest, feeling very smug at the moment to be living in a city where I can still go outside and walk in the woods whenever I want. Have you ever been mushroom hunting? The time is right. Sincerely, C.A. Calhoun." I hope things are still okay over there in Fort Wayne, Indiana. As of this card was postmarked April 7th, and obviously, a lot has changed. I hope you and yours are well. I have never been mushroom hunting. Want to make sure I go with someone who knows what they're doing so I don't die. That's important to me. And that's it. That's the pile of postcards that I have received as of April. And the next time I will be reading postcards, starting with ones received in May, and hopefully we'll make it all the way up through August. And then that should catch us up on the great postcardening of 2020. So if you like sending postcards, if you like receiving postcards, please check out my Patreon. You can send postcards to the P.O. Box address in the comments below. If you would like me to send you a postcard, I am doing a thing where anyone who signs up for my Patreon, you get a first-time thank you postcard. If you sign up at the Earlender or Country Folk level, you get a monthly postcard. So just something to keep in mind. Before I go, I just want to say thank you to my Earlenders, like I do in these videos. So, a thank you to John Smith, Steve Harper, Allison J., Johan Gustafson, William Christopher, Jason Lucas, Allison Tamajan, Chandra, Avi Finkel, and Spectral Ghost. Ooh, I had to, I'm sorry. Thank you as ever for all your support and for watching, and until next time.